everybody, this is Connie with Connie's Crafty Corner, and I've got to fix myself. I do this every time I start a video. As many of you know, I've been gone for, it's been probably a month and a half, and I want to explain to everybody what's been going on. I'm sure a lot of you guys know and figured out from my last video, which wasn't actually a video, I just put up some words, you know, for you guys to read. My mom passed away on, and I'm gonna have a hard time with this video. It's taken me so long to post it. October the 29th at around 1:40 in the morning. She was at hospice. I think the last video I filmed, I was explaining to you guys that we were gonna actually give her a birthday party on her actual birthday, which was October the 24th. But we had decided to move it up to the Saturday before that, which, I don't know, they'd been the 23rd, 22nd, I think. And we did move it up. We had it that Saturday. I made meatloaf, and we had mashed potatoes, green beans. That's one of Mom's favorite meals. And I think in the last video, I told you guys she had stopped eating and was eating very little the week before. But then she suddenly started eating again and was doing much better. She had been experiencing a lot of pain in her right hip, and she had fell a whole lot. She'd been falling every day. I mean, she drastically was going down the week before her birthday party. This video is going to be all over the place because my mind is just racing of so many things I want to say and so many things I don't know if I want to talk about or whatever. So please just bear with me. Because I really need to get this out so I can get started back on my regular videos because I'm really excited about some things I've been working on. But anyway, we had the birthday party. It was a huge success. I had made her strawberry cupcakes because that's what she wanted. And y'all, she actually ate 3 cupcakes. She come straight in there. We helped her to the table and she sat down and she ate 3 cupcakes, which my mom's always been a huge sweet fan, but I was just amazed. When I got there, she knew who I was. She couldn't really talk. She was talking, but she would start out with some words and then lose some of her words. I don't know if you guys know how Alzheimer's patients are, but they kind of lose their words. But, you know, we just went along with her as if we knew what she was talking about. But I knew she knew who I was, that she knew me and loved me. I'm sorry, you guys. Maybe I should have waited to film this. I don't know. Anyway, I knew she knew who I was. Anyway. Okay, I'm not going to start this over because I've started it like 5 or 6 different times. The party went amazing. So many of the family got to come. I mean, even a cousin we hadn't seen from Virginia in many years got to come. And, I think there was only one family that were not able to attend, but we had a house full of people up at my sister's home. And Mom, you know, sit amongst us all. And, you know, she did tell somebody that she knew that I was her baby Connie, you know, so that made me happy. I don't like to start over. Okay, I decided not to start over. I just went and got me some Kleenexes. Okay, let me think where I was at. Amongst the people that got to come was my son Zachary, and that's who she was telling that somebody asked, do you know who his mama is? And that's when she said, oh, that's my baby Connie. That's how that came about. Now, my daughter Sarah wasn't able to attend due to prior commitments with her son. So, but anyway, we had a huge amount of people there. It went very well. She was just tickled. Mama always loved for the family to get together. Now, did she know who everybody was? No, but she knew she was amongst people who loved her. I remember we helped her to bed that night, and she looked at my husband and stuck her tongue out at him. They've always had a crazy relationship, and he blew her a kiss, and she blew him one back, and that was real sweet. They had a really special relationship. Y'all, I'm so sorry. You know, grief is a crazy thing. You can feel great one minute and then the next minute it just crashes in on you. but I'm just going to keep going because this is real life and I'm not going to be able to get through this any other way. So anyway, we got home that night, and I can't remember if I was called that. No, I was told that night she fell. And it was really hard getting her back in the bed. Really hard. Now, the next day I got a call, and my sister was crying. She was really upset because she had always told me, when I know I can't take care of Mom, I'll let you know and we'll have to place her somewhere. And that was our worst nightmare. We didn't want to do that if at all possible. Mama didn't want to go anywhere, so we were doing everything we could to keep her at home. And you gotta remember, she was a nurse for 40 years, and she was the kind of person, she wanted everything done to keep her alive until her last breath. She never wanted to go to a nursing home. And she really never even accepted anything was wrong with her. You know, I can remember when I took her to get her diagnosis, I looked at her, you know, because she was just walking to the car with me, and I said, do you understand what they said? She said, what do you mean? I said, well, you know, they told you had Alzheimer's. And she said, they're crazy. They don't know what they're talking about. And that's been about 1.5 years ago. I think time just, you know, time's crazy. I can't keep up with it. Anyway, you know, we'd started hospice. I don't know if I even told you guys that. We were trying to get home health to come in to help my sisters, you know, with getting her a bath and stuff, because it was becoming more and more increasingly difficult to even attend to her personal daily needs. And because she was really a fall risk. Now, my sister's a trained CNA, and she was doing an unbelievable job. She had a little monitor she kept on Mama at all times, and if she saw her move, she would jump up and run in there with her, because Mom liked to stay in her bed. And she was an avid TV watcher, loved watching the news. But for probably the past 3 or 4 weeks before all this happened, she had even quit watching TV. She was basically just sitting in her room. She was very, very fearful. She was always afraid of things. Even she had some sheets that had little bumblebees on them, and she was even afraid of that. So things were just really going downhill. But anyway, hospice was coming over to make a visit. Now, my sister and my uncle did not realize that when she had failed the night before, they were supposed to call hospice. But they didn't know better, so they went ahead and got her up and put her to bed. Well, hospice came out, and they realized there was something bad wrong. And so they brought a portable x-ray unit out, and they could see that she had broken her hip. So they discharged her from hospice and sent her to the hospital, because that's the procedures they have to do. And they determined that she had a severe fracture of her hip and a dislocated femur. So basically, her leg was just completely dislocated from her hip. And she really had gone downhill mentally, physically, everything. And the doctor said that there's no way she could go through the surgery. So, you know, we had to make that decision. And it was hard. But, you know, in talking, and please nobody give me any negative about our decision, because it was extremely difficult to make. We decided to put her back on hospice because the recovery would have been worse, because she had already stopped eating, and she did eat some that Saturday, but from then on she didn't want anything. She was barely responsive after this fall. It was just really, really traumatic, the difference. And if anybody knows anything about Alzheimer's, anytime they go through anything traumatic, whether it's moving from one home to the other, having an injury, going through a sickness, it really affects their Alzheimer's. Most people don't die of Alzheimer's, they die of complications from Alzheimer's. But anyway, we decided to send her to hospice, and they were going to control her pain. And that's what we did. I actually got down there on Tuesday, and I was with her the entire time until she passed away. I went home and slept the first 2 nights, but after that, I left. I stayed all night one night. I left from about 6:30 in the evening until 1 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, I was there most of the time. And it was the most horrible thing I've ever been through. But the bright side was that most every nurse and CNA that took care of her had worked with her in the past, and they shared so many wonderful stories. Oh, I'm so sorry. I knew this was going to be the way it was because I cry over everything. But they shared some beautiful stories of Mama, and, you know, told us what it was like to work with her and what a wonderful person she was. They shared so many things that I didn't even know about, and it was just a beautiful experience. Whew. Okay. It was a beautiful experience as far as that was concerned. But she was there from Monday, and she passed the following weekend at about 1:43, I think, in the morning on Sunday. I had actually just laid down on the couch. They have a couch, and my uncle was there, and fell asleep. And I woke up, and I think I heard her take her last breath. And I raised up and I said, "Poppy, I think she's gone, isn't she?" And he said, "Yes." Which I don't know if it was a blessing that I didn't see her take her last breath or not, because it had been a very difficult week. You know, I thought I was a lot stronger than I was. Y'all are getting all kinds of ugly cry. I thought I was a lot stronger than I was, and would deal with this a whole lot better. But it was hard. I know a bunch of you have dealt with stuff like this before. You know, you think you're a strong person. And I honestly thought when she passed that I would, and I kept saying this the whole week, I'll be so relieved when she's free of this, and her, you know, she doesn't have to be held down by this body anymore. She'll be free. Oh. But you know, the selfishness in you wants them to come back and be healthy and everything be okay. But anyway, let me take another breath. You know, we went that Monday. Yeah, that Monday, and we planned the funeral and everything. We decided to have it the following Saturday, so people from out of town and everything could be there. And also, I wanted to let you know, my daughter Sarah had not been able to come that Saturday to the birthday, but she showed up, and she brought Rowan, and she stayed with me. She came down and stayed one night, went home, came back the next night, and stayed with me till that Saturday before she passed away, just to be there with me. I wouldn't let Jeff come because I'm the kind of person that would have worried myself sick, making sure he was okay, and there was nothing he could do. I mean, he tried to come, and I just kept telling him no, because I needed to not worry about anything but taking care of Mama. I'm a nurturer, and I would have worried about Jeff getting enough sleep if he was getting, I'm just that way, which I know is ridiculous, and he would have totally not expected that of me. But I wouldn't let him come. In hindsight, I might have wished I had let him come, but I think I did okay. I had Poppy, I had my sisters, and my entire family was there. We had so much support through all that, and it was just amazing. But anyway, we planned the funeral for the next Saturday, so I actually went home that Monday, and I took my sister Kim with me. And we had an amazing week. We had not got to spend that much time together in years and years and years, probably 15 years. And we went and got our hair cut, and we went shopping. We sit around and laughed. We just had a really nice week that week, and I think we both needed it. She had been the main caregiver of Mom for the past year, and I just think it was very nice. It was just an extremely nice week with her. And Jeff just let us be like little girls, you know. He did his thing, and we kind of did ours, and it was just good. But then we go to the funeral, and it went well. It was amazing. You know, as good as funerals can be. There was some really, my cousin Jimmy, who's, you know, we were raised together, did the eulogy, and he just did an amazing job. He loved Mama, and you could tell in the words he spoke. But anyway, the next day, we go home the day of the funeral. We just come on home because I was exhausted by this point. And no wonder, because the next day I woke up without a voice. I mean, I still have some remnants. I couldn't speak. I was just like the worst hoarseness you've ever heard. I ended up testing positive for COVID. Luckily, no one else got it. But I was sick for probably a couple weeks. I didn't have a voice for over 3 weeks. Actually, Billy from the Floridian Crafter. I know most of y'all know probably Billy. She's amazing. I had talked about quilting some quilts, and she was going to talk to a friend of hers to see if she could get some points on how to quilt some quilts for the Boggy Creek. And I'd left her a message about that I would be glad to quilt the quilts for her. You know, I needed something positive to be doing and to be involved in, to get my mind busy on something else besides going through what I'm going through. And she called me, and I answered the phone. I know I sounded like I was dead. I couldn't hardly speak to her. It was horrible. But anyway, we've been going, you know, our family's doing great. My sisters are doing good. It's hard. And like I said earlier, grief has a crazy way of sneaking up on you. I can have days I don't, you know, I was telling somebody the other day, it's really strange because I haven't lived near my mom for 15 years, and I've seen her very little over the past 15 years. It was a blessing she got to live with me for 6 months. A year ago. I have no recollection of time. She got to live with me for 6 months. It was the hardest 6 months I'd had in a long time because, you know, when you go from being an empty nester to being a full-time caregiver of someone with Alzheimer's that has a feisty personality, it's hard. But I think God put that in my life because he knew the way things were going to turn out. Of course he knew, but it was a blessing. And Jeff and I and my mom got to have a lot of fun. We took her to concerts. We took her out to eat all the time. I had weekly coffee. I'd take her to go get coffee and a lemon bar. She loved that so much. We had a good time. But it's been a struggle. I've not done very well. My poor husband doesn't even know what to say to me. But I'm going to be okay. I mean, grief, you have to go through the stages. And obviously I'm going through the sadness or whatever the grief is right now. But I'll be okay. I'll be okay. But on a much brighter note, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys some things that I have to put in the mail for Sarah. I got to tell you a funny story. This is how crazy that this has made me and how horrible this has been. As far as my mood and my attitude and my ways of thinking. Y'all, I'm really serious. It's bad. We went to my daughter's for Thanksgiving. We went down the day before and we were going to leave the next day. Well, I packed right before I walked out the door because I'm not that kind of person, but I just have been in the way that I've just barely been able to get by. But anyway, I packed. We get there. Now, if you know me in my everyday life, I don't put a bra on unless I'm leaving the house or filming a video because I hate wearing them, and I know most of you ladies understand. So I just got in the car without one, didn't think nothing of it. Well, halfway down there, I thought, Jeff, I don't think I packed a bra. I honestly don't think I have one. Now, I have to wear a bra, so that was a no-brainer. We had to stop somewhere and get a bra. Now, thank goodness we stopped on the way down because Jeff had to pick up a few things for the next day for the dinner, and he ran into Walmart and he got me a bra. Told him what size I needed. Great. So we actually went to a hotel instead of my daughter's house that night because it was a little late and we just wanted to get a good night's sleep and not, bother Rowan or anything. And I unpacked my bra the next morning to get ready. I got it out. He'd bought me a maternity bra. You guys, that was so funny. It fit. It worked out fine. It was very comfortable. But the thing that I did, I have a pair of blue jeans. It's my go-to pair of blue jeans that fit me really well right now. And I have a pair of capris that look exactly like the blue jeans, except one of them's about that much shorter. Guess what I packed on this ice-cold Thanksgiving day? I packed those capris. And I had these Hey Dude shoes. I mean, I looked comical. And my husband's like, it's okay. It's okay. It looks fine. Well, we had to stop at Dollar General because there was nothing else, absolutely nothing else open. Thank goodness Dollar General was. We had to stop and pick something up. I can't remember what it was. And I found some joggers, some real thin black joggers in Dollar General that I bought like 2 sizes too big because they were so thin, I didn't want them clinging to anything that I had because I knew that it would show every lump, bump, and everything. But I ended up wearing those instead, so I didn't have to explain why I was wearing capris. But can y'all believe that I did that? I didn't even pay attention enough to know that I wasn't even packing my blue jeans. But anyway, I want to show you guys, I want to end this video on a much happier note, some things that I've made for Rowan in the past week. Literally, it's been just a week and I've been working on this because I've been trying to stay really busy and focused. It's not yarny related, you guys, and I'm sorry. I know most of you are here for the yarny stuff, but I did sew him some things. Okay. I'm not going to list any patterns below or where I got the embroidery designs, but if any of you guys want to know, please just leave me a comment because I do read every comment and I'll be glad to let you know. But this is the first thing. It's called Daddy's Little Hunting Buddy. It's a little sweatshirt. And I made him some little joggers to match. Little pockets. And then I made him, now Sarah wanted a Christmas sweatshirt, which I always try doing something seasonal, as y'all know. And I made this one. And I showed her that design. And she said, oh, Mama, that yellow present just sticks out so much. So me being the person that wants to please everybody, I made another one. And I did the blue, the light blue like she wanted. So now he's got 2 because he's a little 14-month-old and he's going to mess one up and he'll have a backup. So I went ahead and made both of them. And I made these little black joggers that he can wear with that or he can just wear with anything. Little pocket. I'm beginning to wonder if these are going to be fitting, but I don't know. We'll see. And then, I think I've already showed you guys. I made this about 2-3 weeks ago. It's just another little sweatshirt with a little pair of the joggers to go with it. Because you know how grandmas are. You can never have enough. And then I made him a little Happy New Year shirt. It's all out of the same pattern. It's called a vintage sweatshirt. But the thing I'm most proud about, which I do a little repair on before I send it to her, is I made him some overalls. Now, they're wrinkled because I just literally pulled them out of the dryer. But I made these. Now, I told myself, my husband, I'd probably never make another pair, but they turned out so cute, I probably will. But I made these little overalls. But see, I didn't do a bar tack, and it come out, because I went ahead and washed them. And it come out in the wash, so I got to go back, and there's the back of it. Now, y'all, what makes me so happy, I'll show you. There's the pocket with the little buttons and all that. I think they turned out so cute. Well, I see many more of these because you could really embellish this really well and cute. But what makes me so happy is every bit of this fabric is fabric that I had bought to make my children things. But being a younger mother with 2 kids and who's working, you don't have as much time. So I had a lot of this fabric left. So probably 90%. I think maybe this gray here I'd bought in the last 5 or 10 years. But most of this is probably 20 plus years old. Probably older than that because my children are 26 and 30. So it makes me happy to be able to use this for my grandchildren. But anyway, I hope you guys understand my craziness and everything, and do say prayers for me and my family. We're really having a hard time because of how her life ended, and we knew it was coming, but it seemed to happen so suddenly. But we didn't have to make decisions about feeding tubes, nursing homes, and things like that, and we try to remember that, but it's still hard to lose your mom. But anyway, thank you guys for sticking in with me. And I'm sorry I've been babbling on for I don't know how long, but thank you guys for sticking with me. And I will be back. I hope to. I've got a bunch of quilt tops I've worked on, and I'm going to have a video showing you guys that. And I've got a couple of crochet projects and knitting projects I've been working on. So I will be back with a video in the next couple of days showing you those things. But You guys have a great day. Remember me in your prayers. This has been a lot harder on me than I thought it was going to be. So I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you. Bye-bye.